Good day and welcome back to Horsemanship 101 again. I ended up buying this plaque here, and I'm going to tell you a little story behind it, but it kind of gives me an excuse to do this video because it entails a few different subjects that all kind of tie together, and well, they have a little bit to do with this because it says when you count your blessings, count your horse twice. I'm getting a bit of glare on there. Oh, there we go. That's better. So, that's the, be grateful for your horse. Your horse is a pretty good thing, but I'll get into that a little more later and a few of the other subjects. Well, start by telling you a little story about the sign. And, well, since probably, if I hang it up in my house, not too many people are going to get to see it, I figured, yeah, I'll put it in a video and lots of people get to see it, I hope. Anyhow, I'm not one for buying frivolous things and much less decorative type things that you got to hang up and display and show off or whatever. That's just not my style. But I was walking into a store one day and, well, it wasn't someplace that you'd expect to find something like this in the first place. So it was a little out of place. On top of that, I walked in. It was fairly close to the door, and I caught my eye. I looked at it, and I kind of grinned because it's true. I'm grateful for my horses. I count my blessings when I think about them. But I was on a mission. I went in, got my stuff, got ready to leave. And as I'm walking out the door, this thing's pretty close to the door. And I stopped and I looked at it again. And, well, I just couldn't help myself. I ended up buying the silly thing. So we're not quite sure where we're going to end up putting it. But anyhow, it kind of inspired me to do this video. So we're going to move off to the arena, maybe have a couple horses in the background while we finish talking about all the rest of the things that are inspired by this particular video. So, be right back. So that plaque says, give thanks, well, count your blessings. And when you count your blessings, count your horse twice. And truly, every horse I have ever met, every horse I've ever owned, has been a blessing. Including that horribly muddy looking thing over there. She likes getting muddy. She's happy being muddy. She doesn't care. So I'm not going to waste my time because, 5 minutes after I clean her up, she's probably going to go right outside and roll in some mud again, so I'm not going to bother. But I'm going to start off with counting my blessings with this little horse because, you see, she was one of the first ones that was given to me. And at the time she was given to me, if I was out shopping for a horse, there's absolutely nothing about this horse that would interest me. Wrong breed, size, color, conformation, terrible, everything. There's nothing good about this horse. She was given to me, though. And I'll tell you, she has been an incredible blessing, and I am really glad that I got her because I've learned a lot about horses from this one. Because she was such a severe case of abuse when I got her. Now, I'm not saying she was severely abused, but, whatever she endured certainly took its toll on her. And I actually thought I maybe bit off more than I could chew when I got her. But as it turned out, lots of time and patience, it paid off. And she's a wonderful little horse. Eventually I saw the little horse come out that I always knew was there, that I saw inside of her. And she's been a phenomenal blessing. I've quit riding her, but I still love having her as a companion. She's a great companion. She's a lovely friend and a great teacher. This one here, well, maybe before I should go any further, I should talk about some other things too, because one of the things that I've heard said, and I don't even remember who said it, I think I've heard from a few different guys, is, some things cannot be taught, they can only be learned. And there's truth to that. And the only way you can learn is from being with horses, which, well, I guess that kind of makes them a teacher, so it can be taught, but not by humans, I guess. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. And horses are, in fact, phenomenal teachers. And that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful for that little horse is she's taught me so much about horses and being patient and learning to read them and everything, because that was so incredibly important for her. I had to learn to read her to be able to figure out, what was going to work, what wasn't. This one too, Very different, though. And the thing that she taught me was there's a lot of exceptions to rules, and well, she's most of them. She's interesting. She's weird. She really is, but I love her, and I am grateful. She is truly a blessing, and she's taught me a lot about horses, too. I used to ride her and learned a lot about understanding certain behaviors, and that you can't always just take everything that you've heard from everybody and say, oh, this is how it works, because that's not always the case. This one over here, she's also been a huge blessing and a good teacher. She's a different sort altogether. She was also given to me, and she came with a lot of problems that, I had to learn to read her too, and learning to read her, she was different than the other two, so I had to learn more all the time. Every horse that I've had has made me a better horseman because I've had to learn a different horse. And I do believe there's somebody said, I don't remember who it was either, and I've actually heard it a few times, is that every time you think you know something about horses, you meet a new horse that teaches you that you don't know anything. And that's kind of what happens, Ideally, get to meet and know as many different horses as possible, and you'll learn more that way. However, that's not always, it's not, I got 3 of my own, and that's not necessarily realistic for a lot of people. A lot of people barely have the time and finances to take care of one horse properly. But if that's the only horse you're going to have contact with for most of your life, that's okay, as long as you get to know that one. And it will be a blessing too. But every horse I've ever had any time with, it's been a blessing. It's been a teacher. And it's like the good horseman said that, there are some things that cannot be taught. And it's true. There are many things that I know about horses. There's no way I'd ever be able to put them into words. But they can be learned if you spend enough time with horses. So that's one of the things I want to talk about, is if you spend enough time with horses and enough different horses, you're going to learn. Because there's things that you can't, you just can't be taught, and you can't learn from humans, but you can learn them from a horse, and a horse can teach you. So I guess those things can be taught, but not by humans, okay? Another thing that I was reading an article not long ago, and there was a guy, he made a comment about how quite often we don't get the horse we want, but we do get the horse we need. And there's a lot of truth to that one, too, because, well, like I said, this is certainly not the horse I would want if I was out shopping for a horse and nothing about her. But boy, did I need her, and boy, did she make me a better horseman. And I am grateful that I had her, given to me, and I do not regret for a minute. Now, she was going to be just a project. I was going to fix her and rehome her after I got her sorted out a bit. I started liking this little horse so much, I ain't parting with her. No, she's mine, and she's already getting up in her years. But she's going to grow old with me, and she's going to die with me. That's all there is to it. But we don't always get the horse we want, but we will get the horse we need. And the more different horses that we have, the better off we are. Like I said, these 3 are completely different. They are all very, very, very different, and they're what I need to balance me out as a horseman, and for me to learn from. I need to learn from 3 completely different horses, and that's what we got here in front of us. So, back to my sign. When you count your blessings, count your horse twice, because truly each and every horse I have ever been around has been a blessing to me, and I don't regret the time I've spent with any one of them. I don't take them for granted. No, they are blessings, without a doubt, aren't they? Have a good day.